Welcome everyone to the first episode of Layman Conjectures. Here I aim to posit hypothesis that, in the least, can make you think. Is it real groundbreaking science, science fiction, or just plain bunk? My goal is to open conversations on these topics for the experts and laymen alike. Please feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts. Now for the first essay. A layman's conjecture of dark matter and dark energy resulting from quantum vacuum energy. Let me start off by saying I am not a scientist in the professional sense, only by virtue of my own curiosity. Additionally, I am not a mathematician and am regrettably weak on the subject, and would openly welcome any mathematical interpretations that assist in the conjecture I posit herein. This essay is a thought experiment that my infinitesimal brain devised while seeking out my own understanding of dark matter and dark energy. Some of these thoughts occurred to me while enlightening myself on topics such as Hawking radiation and vacuum energy and the random quantum fluctuations inherent in those systems. My education in physics, and with the cosmos as a whole, has come in great part by the modern wealth of knowledge sharing, as when I was in school the topics were either so far off my educational track, or in many cases not yet in mainstream science. No, point of fact, most of my education has come from documentaries, YouTube videos, and news articles in various publications, mostly found through Google or generic news streams. It is grand to live in an age where the common layperson can engorge themselves on science or really any intellectual topic known to humanity, but I digress. In one of these grand sources, and likely several of them, it was suggested that in the earliest moments after the Big Bang all the matter and antimatter spewed forth together. Then as the new laws of nature intended they began to cancel one another out of existence. But lucky for us there was generally one extra element of matter per billion making antimatter fight towards its own annihilation. When all was said and done what was left was 1 part in a billion of the original matter/antimatter soup. This small remnant evolved into what we today call our universe. The problem that faces cosmologists today is that this vestige of matter just isn't enough to account for making our cosmological machine run the way it appears. It is currently accepted that matter, as we know it to be, accounts for somewhere around 5% of the matter needed to make our universe go round. Working backwards, using the observations from Hubble, and others, scientists have worked out, and this is a severe oversimplification, that 25% of our universe is something called dark matter and the other whopping 70% is something we have dubbed dark energy. For our universe, and I say, are here because of the numerous theories around a multiverse, in which physics could be much different from our own. Anyway, back to my point. For our universe to function, scientists have postulated that dark energy and dark matter must be present and be in those ratios. But the big question in science today is, what are they? Where do they come from? This is where I put my limited mind to work to seek out a solution. I believe I have come to a satisfactory explanation, and until proven wrong I will take full credit for the discovery. I've cleared a place on the mantle for my Nobel Prize. If in this conjecture I hit upon an area already ripe with research or somehow parrot someone else's conclusion, it is by sheer ignorance and not by plagiarism, as my layman autodidactic education has not yet stumbled upon this answer. With my boastfulness, and apologies out of the way, let's get to this, dare I say, groundbreaking scientific breakthrough. Feel free to use that in the articles to come. The first thing to understand in this hypothesis is that space itself is both expanding and, most importantly, not empty. We've understood that space was expanding all the way back to Hubble, and in fact dark energy is said to be the primary engine that drives this expansion. In addition, we know now that space is expanding faster than in the past. The conclusion that has been drawn here is that the expansion of space and dark energy are linked. But how? My supposition is that they are not related, instead, they are the same. One does not create the other, they, like space-time, are the same phenomenon. Said another way, the more, or faster, space expands, the more space there is. This results in more energy, further feeding the system of expansion. It seems here that for the benefit of some readers I should explain two main premises. 1. How do we know that space is expanding faster now than before? 2. How can there be energy in space when it is empty? The first question is fairly easy today, as there have been decades of research around this subject since Hubble discovered that there was an expansion. But put simply, the data suggests that the further you look out into space, further back in time, the slower the expansion. This makes sense if you think about the second point. If more energy is created, the more space you have, and the universe is expanding, you would have more energy available in the system than you did previously. But I hear other lay people screaming, but how can you have more energy? It's a vacuum, there is nothing there. This is where quantum vacuum energy joins our little soiree. The vacuum of space is not a vacuum of nothingness. It is governed, like everywhere, by the laws of quantum mechanics. The fundamentals of quantum mechanics shows us that particles appear and disappear randomly throughout space. Matter and antimatter particles do this constantly throughout every piece of our universe. Side note, this is how Hawking radiation got me thinking down this path. The basics of Hawking radiation details the death of black holes due to this type of phenomena, i.e. when two quantum particles appear on either side of an event horizon, one is captured and the other thrown out, causing a disproportionate amount of energy to be expended by the black hole, which, over time, slowly drains the black hole, 10 to the 64 years in some cases, depending on size of course. It is this quantum energy I believe to be the engine of dark matter and dark energy. It is my supposition that the subsequent creation and annihilation of these quantum particles over the ever-growing vastness of space is the true engine of dark energy, and so in turn what drives continuous and ever-increasing expansion of our universe. Assuming you are still with me on this new groundbreaking line of thinking, feel free to call this the enigma effect, but what about dark matter? In understanding dark matter, I ask that you stretch your thinking back to the beginning of space. We spoke earlier of the mechanism that created the matter we have in our universe following the Big Bang. I postulate that the same mechanism is still happening today, and very likely in the same ratios. In the beginning there were 1,000,000,001 matter particles to every 1,000,000,000 antimatter particles. This led to the formation of the regular matter we see today. I believe that when we look at the quantum fluctuations in space we will find a similar ratios of matter/antimatter quantum particles. As these particles jump in and out of existence, what is left is the 1 in 1,000,000,000 particle. Over the vast and increasing distances of space, these particles add up to form the missing dark matter, found mostly between galaxies, where there is immense amounts of empty space. Granting this holds true everywhere, I will assume, mostly due to my lack of knowledge, that the inability to see these dark matter particles is a result of their quantum sizes over a vast area, or even perhaps because these quantum particles could be made from an exotic form of matter that we do not yet understand. This correlates well with the current understanding of dark matter, as we cannot see or measure it. My hypothesis merely suggests how it is created, therefore leading us to a possible better understanding of what we might be looking for. So now that we have reached our conclusion, I will begin taking applications for a team of scientists and mathematicians to further back this hypothesis. I will lead you humbly while sacrificing my good name to science to prove the enigma effect. Rest assured that when it comes time to give the Nobel Prize speech, I will thank each and every team member that has enriched science in the name of this layman. Thank you for joining me today for this first thought essay. Please smash that like button and subscribe for future content. If you have hypotheses of your own that you would like to share, please feel free to reach out and your hypothesis could be added to the channel. Until the next episode, thank you.